Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge.
These are my impressions of Carson City after playing it over 20 times. Carson City is one of my favorite games I play. I love worker placement games, I love economic games, and I love the Old West. There's a lot of things that I like that come together in this game that really hit a lot of different spots for me. Number one, I like the worker placement in this game. I have a lot of options. Not just things I can do. Not just do I want stone or wood. I have strategies in my option. Do I want to build? Do I want to get a building? Do I want to get land? Do I want to go down this little track here that will give me more money? Or do I want to go here, it gives me more victory points? How am I going to score those victory points? What am I going to do based on the action selection that I had? These are very important questions. And I feel like you could also have a legitimate strategy of spreading yourself out a little bit. Maybe grab a little land, get a building or two, and get those victory points or that money that you're going to need. So this game gives me a lot of different options. And not just getting resources, but things that I'll be doing. And you're doing in this game. That's a huge difference in this worker placement than a lot of them, that I'm not just getting resources, I'm doing things. And that's very, very powerful. And not to mention, it's really fun to do. Number two is the duels in this game. Now this is really interesting compared to other worker placement games. Normally in a worker placement game, if I take that spot, you can't go there. I've even seen some where if you put one worker there, maybe I can put two workers there. And if I put two there, you could overtake the spot by putting three. What this one does, you get an Old West shootout. It's high noon and we're fighting over this spot. Now this isn't just a take that mechanic. Throw that out the window. That's not what this is. This dueling mechanism gives you some very interesting decisions. The first of which is, how many workers am I going to use this round? Each worker I don't use will help me in the duels for the entire round. So if I'm going to be fighting a lot, I might not want to take a whole bunch of different options and use all my workers. What that's going to let me do is strategically hone in on what I need to do or what I must do and put my resources into that and fight you for that spot. As the game progresses and gets later in the rounds, there's only 4 of them in the game, you will see more and more duels. Number two, which spot do I want to fight you over and who do I want to fight? You know, if there's somebody who has a spot I really like, but they have a lot of ammunition and a lot of workers, well, maybe I don't want to fight them, so I'm not going to win. I definitely want to pick on the guy who's not as well armed, who hasn't stockpiled the ammunition, the revolvers like I have, but also is at a spot that I want. That can go into your decision. Or do I want to take on that big guy and see if I can beat him or not? Number three, how much ammunition and revolvers do I want to stockpile in this game? There are worker placement selections that I can take to get more revolvers. I can choose a character like the gunslinger to give me more. So I need to decide what it is I want to do and how I want to do it and when I'm going to fight you. I need to have more than you. Now there's 2 variants of this game, the dueling. You can use the dice roll, which gives you some unknown, or you can use the tiles where you get a certain like 0 through 5 and you can use those. And I know if you used your 5, then I can kind of guess how much you're going to have. So a little bit more deterministic that way. Or you can do the random roll of the dice. But depending on which one you do, it's going to lead to your different decision making during the game. Brilliant. It's so awesome that they decided to make interesting decisions in the dueling and not make it just a take that. Wonderful, and that's an absolute awesome way to play this game. Number three, the game gives you a lot of different ways to win. It gives you a lot of different ways to play the game. You can be a builder. Go out and get land. Take land away from people. Take points away from people. Get that mountain that's giving them a lot of points. And then you could become a business owner. Do you want to be the one running the bank in this saloon, having all that money coming in, but it's making you a target for the gunslingers? Which brings up another strategy. You can be a gunslinger. Let those guys spend all the money to make the buildings and grab the land. Because I'm going to send my team of outlaws in, and I'm just going to try to take half your income for your businesses. That means I'm going to concentrate on the early rounds, getting some ammunition, getting some revolvers, maybe putting that prison out there to give me an extra gun. Where that building has a gun, I'm going to build that. and then I'm going to come steal your stuff when you're not looking, if I have the firepower to do so. The last thing is I can just play the board. There's ways for me to go to the slot machines and roll the dice and get money and turn that money into victory points. Maybe I want to go a strategy like that. I'm not sure that that strategy is going to win the game, but you definitely can pay the board and just look for opportunities to score points as opposed to going down a strategy. Now that's probably going to be something you would do if you're newer at the game and you just kind of want to say, well, I'm going to play a little bit loosey-goosey and see how things go. But I think that you can also win the game that way. Number 4, you have different powers every time you play this. You're also going to have a different power every round. So there's none of that, well, your power is more powerful than mine, and this game isn't balanced. Well, great. You choose that power next round. You get to be it. Because who picks the powers first? The first person that passes. So if you think that is so overpowered, you want it, great. Pass earlier in the turn this time, and you grab that power and utilize it. So if you really need something, you will take less actions this turn to get the power that you want. But those workers that you don't use will help you in the duels, and they will also carry over to the next round. So it's like a triple bountiful here that you're talking about. So you're going to be totally powerful to do that. It's just interesting, especially if you get the big box. You have all the promos and all the expansions. You're going to have a lot of different personalities and powers to choose from each game. And then each round, you're picking something else. So you can definitely dictate your strategy based on which personality or character you're playing for the round. And you should be utilizing that to the max in order to score the most amount of points. These are just a few reasons why I love Carson City. Every time I play the game, it plays a little bit different. The setup's going to be different with the random mountains and buildings in City Hall being out, the different buildings, the order they're coming out, the personalities that we're playing with, the powers that we're going to have in the game, plus the people you're playing with. This is truly a game with a lot of interaction. I'm playing against you. I'm not just playing against the rule set to score the most points, and you're playing solitaire or they're playing the most points too. I have to beat you. I have to kind of think in my head, is he going to attack me? If I got a building that's pumping out money, and it's a lot more than any other building, I have to know that's going to be a target. I need to hold some stuff back and defend myself. And this becomes a self-balancing in the game, that I just can't go out and get more and more and more buildings because I'm opening myself up to be attacked over and over and over again. Now, let me calm your nerves about this. It's not one of those games where you attack me and I lose everything I've built up. That's not going to happen. At most, if they attack a building, they're going to get half your income. So you're still going to score half of it, and somebody else is going to score half of it. So it's just a self-balancing act in the game. I don't ever feel like that, oh, I just got hosed because everybody ganged up on me. It's not really that type of game. There are expansions for this. There's 2 expansions that came out in a promo. Now, the big box edition is definitely the way to go. The expansions that were standalone are rather expensive, but that big box gives you everything. And you have a lot of upgraded components, you have a lot of different personalities, and a lot of variety is going to be put in. You're going to have the Kit Carson expansion, you're going to have the river expansion, where you can put a river anywhere on the board you want, as opposed to just the double-sided board. You're going to have the horse expansion, which I love. That horse expansion really gives you a different strategy to go down. And then it can be super fun just to play that strategy and try to get the horses and score points that way. You also get the randomness of the Outlaw expansion, where these outlaws will be coming in and they'll be going after the most powerful buildings and trying to steal income that way. That does introduce a lot more chaos and randomness into the game. But for some of you, that's going to be a lot of fun, and it's totally modular. You can add this, not add that, and do whatever you want. It's a very flexible game. Well, these are the reasons why I love Carson City. I also think these are the reasons why you should check it out and seek this game out. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I highly recommend this game. This game is an instant purchase for anybody. This is not something where I'm wavering any little bit. Even if you don't like confrontation a whole lot, this is still a game that can fit your needs because the confrontation really plays into the game. It's not just drawing a card, ooh, now I have to attack somebody because I have this. It's a strategy. And if your group just does not like confrontation, you don't have to play with it because the players are choosing when to attack. Now, I think that attacking and that dueling does self-balance the game. And if you don't have it, I think you might have some runaway leader issues. But I think once you kind of get into it, you're going to have a lot of fun with it, even for those of us, my gaming group included, that doesn't like confrontation that much. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you check out Carson City. I do recommend the big box, but if you just want the core box, I think you'll have a lot of fun, and there's enough in there to enjoy everything that there is. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else,